Requests can be made by citizens or by internal employees within an organization. The amount of information gathered between these two could be vastly different. A simplified approach has been created for an internal request that comes into the system. Let's go and look in the software to see how you can create an internal request inside your organization. We have a very simplified interface. The first thing that we need to do is select an issue. So we'll go down and select an issue, and I'll start by selecting Light Out. You'll notice that it displays all the different fields for me. So it asks me for my location description. So this could be Public Works. The description could be first floor light. And our facility, we can go through and add in our Public Works. Now, if we want to submit an attachment along with our request, we can also click on the Add Attachment and go out and browse to any of our pictures that we might have. The next thing to do is submit the request. It's as easy as that. Now, along with submitting this request, there is also some customization that you can do inside your organization. You can go through and customize how you want this screen to look. So let's go into the main Cartegraph application and show some of that customization. The customization inside of Cartegraph for the internal request, we go to the Administrator. Now we can select Layout Manager, and we can come into the category and set it to be Requests, and we'll set our next item to be the Requests. We will select our view type to be Internal Requests, and you'll notice that we see a couple different sections. We see My Submitted Requests, and we see Attached Files. The two of these control what we see on that page. If I would turn off something like Attached Files, now I no longer will be able to attach files when I submit my request. I can also go through and add in additional columns or turn off the list completely. So I'm going to add in this facility column, and I'm going to drag it over to the front, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now, the next time that I go into the system, you will see that I will see facility in my submitted request list. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and show you how to customize what library issues show up in the request as well. So I'm going to go and select my library manager, and I'm going to sort down to my request issues library. And I'm going to select a couple different libraries. So I'm going to go down and select noise as one of my issues. I'm going to view, and I'm going to edit this issue. I'm going to scroll down towards the bottom where we have a field that says internal request. With that toggled on, I click on Define View, and here you see that I have my different fields that I can select. So in this case here, for noise, I'm going to select facility. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to also add in floor. And apply and save. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do the same thing for the light out issue. So I'm going to go back and do the same thing, and then we'll show how that appears in the internal request system. So I'm going to edit, and I'm going to add in floors. You can see that facility has already been added, and I'm going to add in floors as well. Now that we're back inside of the internal request feature, we can go through and select two different issues. The first one we'll do is noise. As soon as I select it, you can see that now I have my facility and I have my floor. You'll also notice that the Add Attachment link is gone as well. So if I want to add in the noise for a particular facility, I can say it's at the courthouse. Maybe it's floor 2, submit the request. You'll see that now I have a courthouse facility, I have a public works facility. Those are the two different requests that I have submitted so far. Now if I go into light out, you'll see that I have the facility and the floor as well. If I select one of the other issues, such as paint, you'll see that that doesn't have the facility and the floor in it. Those ones have not been customized. Those are our default fields with the location and the description. So one of the other things that we can do with the internal request tool is we can go through and set this up to be an anonymous request. So I'm going to go through and log out of the system, and I'm going to log back in as an anonymous user. So when you go to the login screen with the internal request, there's an option to sign in anonymously. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sign in. You'll see that you're presented with a little bit different interface. You'll only see the select an issue. The list of my selected or my submitted requests does not display anymore because you're logging it anonymously. It will look the same way as when you are submitting a request when you are signed in as a user. However, you don't see the list of all the requests that you've submitted yourself because you are signed in as an anonymous user. So as you can see, submitting a request as an internal employee within an organization is very simple. We have streamlined the interface so that it's very easy to enter in a request inside the system.